Peppers, peppers, and more peppers. Let me show you how to prepare and preserve roasted peppers for you and your family to enjoy for weeks and months away. Hey guys, it's Daryl. Thanks for coming back to Louisiana Simple Living again today. We're going to be mostly inside in the kitchen, but I will have to go out in the garden and to get some fresh harvest of peppers from the garden. I have just more peppers coming in ripe that I can do anything with. I've got various varieties of sweet, hot, peppers, and then all varieties in between. So at this point, I always think, well, different ways I can prepare the vegetables, but also how I can preserve it so we can enjoy the bounty of the harvest in weeks and months ahead. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But I like roasted peppers, and so does the family. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to go ahead and roast some peppers. That's not too terribly difficult. But then I'm going to also show you 3 preservation techniques. The first one being, I did some yesterday, of course, as you can tell. And this is a jar of roasted peppers with some garlic and onion in oil. The other preservation technique is going to be, you put them in the mason jars and you actually put it in your water bath canner. And then third is your good old handy dandy vacuum sealer. If you don't have one, you need to get one. So you can go ahead and put it in the freezer and you won't get near as much freezer burn. It'll last a heck of a lot longer than putting it in a Ziploc bag or a double Ziploc bag. So this is the latest entry in my Garden to Jar series. If you haven't as yet, please subscribe, like that video, and feel free to share it. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and harvest some more of these peppers. Got a lot of the redder ones yesterday. But I'm going to go ahead and do a second batch. So let's go ahead and take some of these. Look at that. I'm going to grab a few off of this bush. Got some red ones coming ripe. I took a bunch off of here yesterday too. These are Jimmy Nortellos, I think. Oh man, look at that one. Pretty. We got back here some pretty red ones, huh? Alright, I think that's a pretty good mess to get started with. Alright, so next up all we gotta do is get all our peppers. You want to cut them lengthwise in half. Cut the top off, obviously. And then I'll go ahead and remove the ribs and the seeds. Let me go ahead and get a pan over here set up. I already got the parchment paper in it. It works really well. All I gotta do is lay them in, and I'll put the skin side up. Okay. If they're not perfectly in half, it doesn't matter. This isn't about being perfect. It's just getting it in there and enjoying it. Alright, got that pan ready to go. Let me cut up the rest. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put it on broil. And then we're good to go. Let's go ahead and get that heating up. Alright, so we got all our peppers sliced in half lengthwise. Got some Vidalia onions thrown in here, and I got some Italian soft neck garlic thrown in here. So I got about 4 cloves there. Next, we got to go ahead and put some oil on them. And I use avocado or olive oil and sprinkle it. And then I'll actually use that spray. It's olive oil spray. Just make sure everything's got a good coating. I'll put some cracked pepper and some sea salt. Let's go ahead and season it up. Oven's getting hot, so we'll get ready to throw them in and roast them. All right, so I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil. Make sure I get a good bit on these garlic. And just to make sure they're covered well, I got some of this spray olive oil. Also, like to make sure I get some on those onions. Make sure they cook real good too. Okay, that looks pretty good. Just black peppercorns. I'll go ahead and give it a little season here. Alright, just got some salt and pepper on it. Got it seasoned really well, so we'll go ahead and put it in the underneath broiler in the stove. Now we'll take these gloves off. Just a reminder, these nitrile gloves, man, if you're dealing with these peppers and you're cleaning out the seeds and the ribs and all that, it's a must-have to wear gloves. If you haven't ever done it before, get some gloves first. I'm gonna set the timer probably for about 10 minutes. Alright, it's been 10 minutes. Let's take a look. Oop, a little fog up. It's coming along pretty good. I'm going to let it go for another about 2 minutes. I'll pull those and the bottom ones will be able to finish off. Alright, again, it's been 12 minutes. Yeah, I think those are good. Alright, let's see what we got here. Perfect. Alright, you can see, just went ahead and move that bottom tray up and then let it start browning. Now you can go ahead at this point and you can put the peppers and put them in a bag, a Ziploc bag, whatever it may be, and it'll steam. You leave them there for 15-20 minutes. It'll steam basically while it cools down. Then the skin can peel off. But I personally like the skin. I think the char is part of the gradu, as they say in South Louisiana. It's part of the flavor, and that's why you char to begin with. Everything's tender underneath, and that's going to be a little different texture, but it's where the flavor is. I like to leave the skin on, so that's what I'm going to do. Ooh, smells good. Alright, so another 2 minutes. Just look at it. Oh yeah, it's coming along good. Thank you, see. Yeah, it's coming along good. I may give it another 30-45 seconds and I'm going to go and pull it. Alright, now that our peppers, onions have cooled, our first preservation technique is real simple. Get you a mason jar, get you some peppers, and again, if you want to take the skin off, that's fine. But I like to mix up different kinds of peppers. I like to grab a little bit of onion, just roasted onion, put that in there. Grab some of this garlic. I may have to squeeze it out. Oh yeah, it's beautifully roasted. So I got me some garlic in there. Stuff the rest away with some peppers. Just kind of intermix. If I want to put another onion or two in, that's fine. These are, what I'm going to do is fill these up with oil so they will go in the refrigerator. Now I did make some the other day. I'm only going to do one. Pour your little olive oil, make sure it's covering it. Just put enough in to cover it up. Perfect. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and put a Louisiana Simple Living sticker on here. Today is the 24th, so 10/24/21. Alright, so technique number 2 is we're going to water bath can these peppers. So all you have to do is nothing more than do exactly what we did with the others. So go ahead and put you some peppers in. Put a little piece of garlic will be fine. A little onion will be fine. So you just get them in there, and you want to make sure you leave enough room for, you're going to have 1-inch headspace. So we'll add boiling water to this. And that's all you have to put in there. It's acidic enough. You can put a little salt. I already salted mine when I cooked them. And what we'll also want to do is make sure we poke down the spoon or whatever the case may be to make sure we get all the air bubbles out. We'll put one more little piece of garlic in here, I think. Because you can't ever have too much garlic in my mind. Let's do one of these. And again, if you want to take the skin off, you're more than welcome to, and a lot of people do. I just prefer to have it. It's more flavor and it's more nutrients. Got some good banana peppers in here. Got some Jimmy Nortellos. And it's hard to beat roasted garlic too. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and can these real quick. That's preservation method number 2. Alright, so what I got to do is go ahead and put some boiling water into these jars. Leave it about 1-inch headspace, so they're going to require a whole bunch. What I'm going to use the back of this magnetic, can lid thing. But I'm going to poke it in here and make sure there's no air holes still. No air left underneath any of the peppers. I'm going to make sure we get a paper towel. If there's stuff on the rim. If there's debris on the rim, then it may not seal. Then your stuff goes bad, which we don't want to do because this is just too good stuff to let go bad. So next we'll go ahead and transfer these jars over. Alright, so we got our jars. I just went ahead and set them into the water bath canner. And next I will go ahead and let the temperature come up, and I'll put the lid on and we'll get them suckers going. They need to go for about 35 minutes at a rapid boil before they'll be processed completely safe. Alright, let's go ahead and put the lid on. Okay, 35 minutes. We'll set the timer. Actually, I'm not going to set it quite yet. Let it come up to full temp, then we'll set the timer. I'll go ahead and pull the jars out. Everybody hear them pop here? If not, though, we got within 24 hours it'll go ahead and pop. It'll pull that vacuum and the little suck in. You'll know it's good to go for months to come. Alright, now the third and final technique is this good old vacuum sealer. Man, it just does such a better job than Ziploc bags or even freezer Ziploc bags, or putting 2 Ziploc bags one inside the other. This just works better, makes your food last longer in the freezer without freezer burn. Alright, got the one end sealed. Alright, so we'll go ahead and put a lot of this stuff in here. Not all of it, but probably half, and I'll do another bag. Let's go ahead and seal him up. There it goes. Vacuum sealed. perfect, ready to go. I'm gonna write on here what it is with a date, put it in the freezer. I mean, look at that. Is that not delicious looking? I'm gonna go throw that in the freezer and we'll be ready to go. So there are many great benefits to gardening, but one of those at the top of the list has got to be the fact that we can get some great, fresh, homemade, organic vegetables that we can enjoy for ourselves and our family. So right now I got peppers coming in left and right. So when I get a surplus of vegetables, you start kind of looking at what you can do to either prepare differently and or preserve those vegetables to enjoy later on. So that's what we did today. So we basically, I love roast peppers, so we went ahead and roasted some peppers, and I gave you 3 different ways you can preserve them. So you can put them in oil, put them in the refrigerator, that'll give you 2 to 3 weeks. You can go ahead and water bath can them, that'll give you months. And of course you can go ahead and vacuum seal and freeze, and that'll give you months as well. So 3 great options to preserve your peppers. So get in your backyard and let's grow something. And get in your kitchen and let's prepare and preserve something. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Like that video, feel free to share it. If you like the video, please subscribe. It means a lot to us. As I normally say, make memories with your family, make memories with your friends now rather than later. And as always, I will see you on the next video.